Okay, cool. It's all working. I always gotta make sure that she's that we're moving and not stuck. Um, yeah, them. I'm zoomed in because I was staring at Symphonia's horns and then I decided they looked stupid, so I redrew them with my mouse. Um, the far side, not the close side. Yes, them, the boys, them. I need to change the background though. I don't know how I was working in white, but I was working in white. Um, yeah, I just haven't turned on yet. I just was staring at a white background and my brain went, absolutely not. Yeah, no, I had music. I had it all ready to go. I just hadn't turned it on yet. Um, yeah, I mean, I can draw without music, but I normally don't. I know, and you know, but most people don't, that it looks like flats are done, but they're not. This is Sinfonia. One of those what's his vest, right? Yes. One of those fun ones that I don't keep in folders or label shit, but yet it's still labeled. Um, I don't know if other people's programs do this, but my program does this. I know Photoshop will let you do it. Not not like this, but in a way like this. Um, when I do pictures like this, when it's the two of them, but they're like so intertwined with each other that it's hard to folder it. Um, I hate naming my layers. I just don't do it. That's your hair. That's your hair. Um, when you make, where's one I didn't do it on? This one. When you make a new layer, there's a little empty bubble in the corner, and if you click on it, it'll give you a little color wheel, and then you can label your um layers by color. So I'll do that. That's how I'll separate layers instead when I don't use folders, because I label them all by color. Because I have certain ones of Symphonia's layers stacked on top of Cialu's, and some of Cialu's stacked on top of Symphonia. Um, let's see, and this is a day that right now, temporarily, that needs to come off. See, and I missed I fucking missed spots because he's so damn light. I haven't named layers for fucking years. I name certain layers. Like I always name catch light. I always name the catch light, but I didn't. They don't have catch lights in this picture because their eyes are closed. Gotta clean some shit up. See, and I have this problem going on. You probably can't see it, but I can see it. Or I have like itty bitty little see-through lines on Silu right now because they're places where I couldn't tell since his skin is so light against the white that I was missing spots. So I gotta go back through and check all this skin tone to make sure that I didn't miss spots. So yeah, like there's spots I missed all around his mouth that I didn't get in close enough because I couldn't tell because I had him on a white background. And that's why we don't color Silu on a white background. Now I can go back to detailing because I was staring at his hand and that was making me angry. Hello! Welcome! I saw you made a blue sky. How are you tonight? I'm doing pretty okay today. I'm doing alright. Let's say we got a shit ton of snow today, so I didn't go anywhere because it's my day off. So like, fuck that. But other than that, like, no, it's fine. I'm kind of hoping they have all this snow nonsense cleared up by the time I have to go back to work on Thursday. Alright, I'm gonna I need to temporarily shut off Symphonia's arm. Yeah, I know. Two, three. Ah. No, I haven't looked at it. Let me look at it. Hold on. Okay, you can have your arm back, kitty boy. No, I haven't looked at the weather. I just saw we got 4 inches of snow today, and I was like, not going anywhere. Dude, what do you mean? It's supposed to be 15 this week. That's awesome. Next Monday's supposed to be 26. Dude, I'll take 26. That's awesome. I mean, Thursday we're supposed to have a low of 4, but I mean, that's not bad. That's not horrible. Yeah, Sunday is 22. But I mean, tomorrow's supposed to be a high of 15. I'll take that. Yeah, it says Thursday's supposed to be 15 with a low of -4 and 60% chance snow showers. So I mean, but 'tis my life. I know, 'tis my life. It's kind of the burden I get for living here. No, that would be here. I mean, that is really scary, and like, that is really cold for you, and one of the reasons why I keep telling you not to visit me in the winter. Because I don't want you to have to deal with my cold. I'm not gonna be one of the northerners that sits there and go, -2, it's not that bad, we got worse. Yeah, we did get worse, but we're supposed to get worse. You're not supposed to be that cold. Dude, maybe when I get paid on Friday and I go grocery shopping inevitably, or whenever I go and get my meds, because I have to get my meds by Thursday, I think. I'll buy you a pair of gloves and I'll put them in the box. I'll say, don't challenge Mother Nature. If you say it won't get cold until next year, she might hear you, and Mother Nature might be like, really? You want more cold? Dude, when it got to be like 20 below over the weekend, I mean, yeah, that's not absolutely abnormal for us, but it's still exhausting. Well, it's not what I wanted. Go back, go back. I'm on that one. Yeah, so if anybody's ever wondered how I put all the details in on their vests, this is how. Does that point up or point down? That points. He would. He tried to join Kitty Party unsuccessfully. One of these days, I'll eventually like draw real emojis. I just haven't done it yet. I keep telling myself to, and I haven't. Oh, yes. The Valo. I gotta put everybody's profiles on WeGen, but it takes so long. The Valo. Okay. It would go like that. And the loop up would be there. And then that is loops around. And we're gonna go straight down. I know it looks crazy, I promise it'll all make sense. It's how I just make sure that everything's in line. I I did this myself. It was a hot second of figuring out how to build it, but I built it. I appreciate that. say, I since you just follow me on Blue Sky, you can see the little tag I have next to my name on Blue Sky, and it says King of the Puffs. So I have to make my little tuber in the style of the Puffs, as I am the King of the Puffs. I call all of our OCs Puffs because their hair is puffy. Therefore, they are Puffs. They also breathe mist, so Puffs. They're Puffs. So yeah. I know I showed it to you yesterday and it looked like the flats were down, but they're not. They actually both have a lot of detailing and patterning. And dude, I have so much art of them, it's not even funny. We've been writing them together as a couple for like this will be three years of writing them as a couple. No, Symphonia took over fucking took over in 04. So in 2024, he showed up March 2024 is when he decided to kick the door down and say he's fucking done with my shit. So all of 2024, all of 2025, this will be year 3. I was writing Symphonia in 2023, but he was still being very grumpy and quiet and elusive. That's what I'm saying. Like 2026 to 2027 will be year 3. 2024 to 2025 was year 1 of Symphonia being fucking loud. 2025 to 2026 was year 2. 2026 to 2027, the year we are currently in, we are writing year 3. But we've been writing them as characters for 3 years. Because 2023, Symphonia existed, but he was just very quiet and very antisocial. Okay, we've almost got Shark Boy all detailed up. Now we got to put in the detail that no one ever fucking remembers. The detail that gets skipped every single time. I've decided I'm gonna get nitpicky with this one. Dude, that's a long time to do the lore. It also is such dedication to write something for that long. Shark Boy's details are all there now. I can turn his necklaces back on. I just needed them out of the way so I could do the detailing on his vest. I didn't mark those, did I? I did not. Now we can do Symphonia. And I always have to stare at the reference for Symphonia because I decided to make the back of his vest the most complicated thing in the fucking world. Yeah, there's an OC chatter thing in the Discord. You can even make a little thread like I made for Mysterica and just ramble. There's Kitty Boy's vest. Yeah. I have a thing up that's like, I think 51 posts long of Mysterica's lore. And then we made a whole nother thread for, the character profiles. So that everything's organized. And you are welcome to make a thread and, just ramble. I don't promise I'll read it fast, but I'll read it. You know, for as much as I draw Symphonia, you think I wouldn't have to stare at a reference to do the back of his vest. But, I decided to make it fucking nonsense. So here we are. I think I need to shut your hair off, kitty boy. So I need to make sure that all the lines are doing what I need them to do. It's too close. I have a whole collection of fan art and commissions and things people have drawn for me, saved on my Blue Sky on my pin post. And, the starting and ending soon screens on my streams play a cycling slideshow of all the art that people have drawn for me, whether it be gifts, trades, or commission. I love fan art. I also partake in Art Fight every year. They do have some religious stuff going on that I have listed in the rules on my Art Fight that, like, their colored bands around their necks can't come off because those are identification. Their jewelry doesn't come off because it all carries cultural significance. And they don't wear white and black for religious reasons. Symphonia is wearing dark gray. He's not wearing black. Like pure black they won't wear for cultural reasons, for religious reasons, and they won't wear white for religious reasons. Other than that, knock yourself out. Yeah, I do art fight every year. Um, I've been doing it every year since 2023 was, I think, the year that I got drug into it, and now I'm addicted. I love art fight. Um, all right, hold on. We need this to go. Yeah, this is why his hair shut off, because I need to be able to see what I'm doing. So that all of the lines are meeting where they're supposed to be meeting. That needs to be wider. Hey, you've got at least... You did one thing that last year. It was still black and white, but I don't care. That's not the point. And then you drew Vorovesi and you drew Sedan in like full fucking color. That was big. And you know, you drew Vorovesi, which is she's yellow from head to fucking toe, when you picked the one character of the color you can't see. For context, because people don't know my characters off the top of my head. Bestie here is colorblind and can't see the color yellow, and decided that it was smart to draw this character for me for art fight. Cannot see the color yellow, picks Vorovesi. So like, no, that was very, I was very proud of you. That is one of my treasures, and it is also in the slideshow. I was very proud of you. Um, oh yeah, actually, hold on. There it is. Why am I blind? I was gonna say, and like on the topic of fan art, somebody even drew Symphonia for me on Blue Sky for my birthday. I was very excited. I lost my mind. Even can confirm. I lost it. I was so excited. Yeah, this is what I got for Art Fight. This is what he did. This is Aven's work for Art Fight in 2024 when he decided to draw Vessi and he can't see yellow. I fantastic, wonderful. I especially when you're learning how to use your fucking hands. Like, I'm very impressed. I'm proud of you. No, hold on. Where is it? I haven't put that one in my slideshow yet. Look at this. They drew this for my birthday. My birthday was the 23rd. They drew Symphonia for my birthday. I sat at my computer and tried not to scream because it was midnight and I live with my mother. It was Brittany. Hold on. Hold on. They're the one that never lets people quote their work, so I can't put it in the slideshow. Hold on, whoop, no, whoop. It was Brittany Robinson, Brittany Artsy at bluesky.social. Yeah. It will be in the slideshow when I remember to update it. Yeah, it's not in my collection because they have quotes disabled, which is fine, whatever. But I was very excited. I actually made it my profile banner on Discord. Um, I showed it to Mom, and Mom said he looked like a chibi figure, like a chibi figurine. And you know what? She's not wrong. Um, yeah, I don't. Every time I do the back of Symphonia's vest, I remind myself that I told myself I'm going to make his vest. Like, physically, I sew. I'm a cosplayer. You saw my cosplay on Instagram. I saw you liked things. Um, I intend to make his vest, and every time I draw it out, I remind myself how I have like committed myself to pain. Um, wait, that can't swing that low. That has to swing real tight. Okay, that. I'm gonna shut all these layers off when I'm done so you can see like how much different all the detailing and on their vests is and why it's so necessary. Because it's necessary as hell. Um, okay, that's the long one. Oh, wait. God damn it. Symphonia, baby. Go a little further over. Alright. I remember when I designed Silu, I thought I was making his vest like super complicated and super fancy, and I can like almost do Silu's vest design in my sleep. Symphonia's, no. Absolutely not. I always have to stop and think when I'm doing Symphonias. I gotta swing that all the way down. I promise it won't look like crazy, look all crazy when I'm done. And I love how I have like almost no one's reference sheets done, but my brain is already wanting to redo Symphonia's because his hair's gotten so much longer. I still can't turn your hair back on. I gotta do the rest of it. I'm streaming, Mom. Oh, jumped out of my fucking skin. I'll say context for people who don't know. I live with my mother because my father died. thought I had reminded her that I would be streaming, but I did not. Um, Dude, she just came to tell me something, and I was locked the fuck in. So I like jumped. Besides, even if I need emotional support cat, little otter boy's gonna come out and steal him. Well, then he's still gonna want his cat because per time. I love how this one even says possible ban evader monitoring. Uh, ban. Bye. Like I said, I can get to things when I'm not playing games. When I'm playing games is when I need you to be ready to get out your little moderator keyblade and bonk bonk bonk. Um I think that is all of his. I can turn his hair back on. It's gonna look funny if I don't turn his hair back on. Yeah, so now, because all of their detailing was not there when I started. This is how empty they look without it. This is why all of the detailing on their vests is important. That is how incomplete they look without it. So now we need to start pulling out the heavy lifting. What do you mean? What are you confused about? Oh, I see the world in 3D. I know where to put the shading because it's already lit in my head. Remember how I was telling you the other day that I see the world as a constant movie that never stops? When I look at the world, like the world that exists inside my brain is a 3D space that contains lighting that I can move manually in my brain. So like I can imagine a sphere in 3D in my head, and I can rotate it in my brain, and I can also manually move the lighting to change how it's lit in my mind's eye. That's how. And that happened because of how much I observe. Well, and to be fair, and this isn't me picking on you, um, you don't see the lighting the way I do, even outside of my mind's eye. That like I have spent a lot of time just staring at things, trying to figure out, like literally, better example. I have pictures on my phone of the break room from Monday because I was staring at the way the light reflected off the top of our microwave, thinking, how would I paint that? And I took pictures of our sink in the break room on Monday because I was looking at the way the water was splattered against the metal, thinking, how would I paint that? So I took pictures so I would have reference to paint that. So to me, they're already 3D, and that's how I see it in my brain. I'll say, I just put a video up on my YouTube. I don't think I sent it to you on Discord because someone asked me for help on how to render hair, and I explained how hair cast shadow in the video. I'll explain it again. Here, I'll do it right now, actually. So, when I shade his hand, all of this is in shadow. And I do that. Hold on. Let me get it all in, and then it'll make more sense. We're doing right the edge. I'm doing it like this for a reason. Hold on. because Symphonia's... Oh, can't do that because you can't see it because it's on top of underneath Symphonia's arm. Boop. Symphonia is casting shadow on his hand. Only this part is where the light is going to hit that plane. So underneath everything is going to be dark. That's why, truly, when this is done, there's going to be a whole second layer of shade. Here, I'll actually, like, half do it. Boop, boop. Because I'm going to shade them all like I normally would, but then there's going to be another layer that I come in and do it, and this isn't the real layer, but I'm just kind of faking it so you understand. Because even after I shade them and everything's all pretty and beautiful, I'm still gonna come over and do a shade on top of him. I'm doing something messy, just so you understand. I'm still gonna come over and do a shade on top of him and then hit it with a multiply layer and knock it down, because it's a secondary shade that's being cast by Symphonia leaning over him. So, like, all of this still needs to be shaded so that you see all of the depth of the clothing and everything, like the shading that exists from him as an object. But then there's another shadow that has to drop on top of him because Symphonia is leaning over him. Does that make sense? I made a hot drink and then I didn't drink it at all. Hold on. I am drinking the hot drink. Where's one that I did it with? Oh, that. I definitely did it with that one. I think I did it in government assigned besties too. I did. Use that one. No, you're not being deliberately dense. That's why I'm more like, I need to show you in a way that I already have done the practice. Instead of trying to explain it while it's half done. There's a whole layer of shadow that's going on in this that is not part of them as objects. Because, see, watch. Do you see how much it changed just with one layer? So, what happened... See, now, what happens... Here, I'll... What do I have it on? 37. See, watch. That's the layer normally. So, what you're seeing is you're seeing things like this. Like, right... Boop. 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 Right here, under his arm, watch. And that happened because his arm is casting a shadow on his vest. There's another shadow right here because his arm being in front of Symphonia is casting a shadow on Symphonia's chest. There's another one that's happening right here in that circle pattern because Symphonia's hand is casting a shadow on his shoulder. There's another one right here because Symphonia is casting a shadow and his hair is casting a shadow. That's why you can see it all back here too. He's casting a shadow onto Symphonia. Yeah, there's another one. Right here. And this one, with this one, you can see right there. He's casting a shadow because he has his hand stuck in his mouth. Same thing happened over here. That you can see it's casting a shadow because his finger's stuck in his mouth. And if I shut off the cast shadow, it looks like this. That's just them shaded. That's without me putting any of the cast shadow nonsense in. If I put the cast shadow in, you get that. And then that. And I mean, that's fair. Like you said, you're damn near legally blind. But am I at the very least making sense? Because, like, please, ask questions. I like asking questions. I love teaching. I'm obviously happy to, like, stop in the middle of what I'm doing to explain something. So, with this one, when I'm done shading them entirely, I'm gonna put cast shadows in because Symphonia will be casting shadows onto Cielu. See, and that makes sense to me. The other thing I think that might help is, here. I'll show you a little trick that I do sometimes. You're still probably gonna need the third dimension in your brain thing going on, but this is a little trick that I do sometimes when I want to help my brain with lighting. Because right now, within my brain, yeah, right now what I just did is I basically marked where the light source is. Sometimes I'll put in a circle gradient and I'll make the center of the circle be that's where the light is coming from. Well, and that's what I'm getting at, that like what you can feel with your hands and you know is true is not what you see. And I don't know if there's a way for me to teach you to be able to see the planes of the face and like see the planes of the body within your mind's eye. So yeah, and that's not what's going on here. Maybe me and you need to talk about like shapes, and that's not me picking on you. Cause see, like right now, where's my baby? We're gonna put her on a glow brush. Cool. Right now, this is all touching the light. This is touching the light. This is touching the light. The light will hit here, and here, and here, and here. It's gonna hit here, and here, and here. It'll hit the back here. It's gonna hit here, and here. It'll hit here, and it'll hit here. It's gonna hit here, too. And right there. Because right now, this is the light. The light is right here. So it's gonna hit like this. Because this spot right here is closest to the light. It's on the other side of him. So yeah, it's gonna hit like this too. Because it'll hit along the top of his... Have I ever done the like feel your face thing? Because I've taught people proportions of the face by making them actually feel their own face. Because like, if a light is on the right side of me, the left side of my nose is what's going to be in shadow, because the right side plane is what's facing. But that also means if you put your hand on your nose and then you feel up into your eye, that little divot where your nose starts to circle around your eye and into your brow bone is going to go in shadow, because that plane is dropping, so it's not getting as much light. I don't know if I'm making sense, because I see very 3D. So, like, that's the thing, is, like, here. Where is that picture? We're gonna use the picture. The love of my goddamn life. My pride and fucking joy. Actually, hold on. We'll just open the damn thing. It's not like you haven't seen me stream this one 16,000 fucking times. I swear to fucking God. Okay. This one. Speaking of the nose. Boop. His nose is doing this. It's this line. There's a dip, it goes up, and then it goes down again. That's what his nose is doing, and then there's a ball right there. That's why there's light right there. the end of your nose. Squeeze the end of your nose. There's a ball on the end of your nose. Yeah, squeeze it. There's a ball on the end of your nose. Realistic noses are drawn like this. A realistic nose is this, this, and this. This is your nostril, this is your nostril, this is the ball on the end of your nose. That's why when I draw noses, I draw them the way I draw them. Because, oh, see, my noses are about to make more fucking sense to you. Because that's why when I do this, this is the nostril of his nose, and that's why when I draw nostrils, I do this, and then I do this, because, that little lead is the ball under your nose. That's why I draw noses like that. That's why I do it with this shape. Because there's a ball right here. I just simplify anatomy a lot. But what I was getting at is I put light there because there's a ball, so that's raised up. I changed the color of the line art right here to light because the light is hitting this side of his nose. But I put an itty bitty shadow in right here because that's the crease on the other side of his nose. That's why that shadow's there. Because, where is that shadow? I don't know where anything is in this fucking thing anymore. It's on a multiplayer, I know it is. This thing has so many fucking layers in it. There it is. See how much flatter his nose got? Here, let me shut that thing off. Boop! See how much flatter his nose just got? Because I shut that layer off. Boop! Because this shadow is the crease where your nose meets your cheek that's facing away from the light. That's why there's also an itty bitty shadow right here, and there's an itty bitty light right here, because this is the side of your lip that's catching the light, and this is the crease of your lip that is not catching the light. And then that itty bitty light right there is his Cupid's bow. And this is, it's the top of your cheek. Like, press your face, and the squishiest part of your cheek, your part that, like, especially if you smile and it gets really, really squishy, that's that spot. That's what that is. Because that part of your face is raised up. So when light hits, it's gonna catch that part. And that's why sometimes this part will have light on it and the rest of the face will be in shadow, because that's the squishy part of your cheek that catches the light. And that's why, like, right here and right here have light, because if you close your eyes and then you lightly touch your eye, which I know for you don't is a thing because I know all the surgeries and everything, but if you, like, lightly touch your eye, if you can feel why does what have a little light? No, I just know you have like all the surgery and stuff on keeps that's on your eye. The reason the top of his eyes have light is because if you close your eye and then you put your fingers over it and you just lightly touch it, you can feel that it's a ball. Um, so his eyes are doing this. Yeah. Because it's that dark. See, because that's also I could hold on. Where is that fucking layer? This one? Yes. If I wanted to, I could erase it out so that it would catch light. But that's an artistic choice because it looks weird now. And that's also the thing. It's because the light in this picture is so powerful that from I'm on the wrong thing. From here over is getting hit by light. So then from here over is only minorly catching it. Well, and that's also the thing too. Remember when I sent you those things of like dramatic lighting? That's kind of what I did here. Is I did dramatic lighting because that's why there's pieces in the lighting that are like it's really strong here, it's really strong here, it's really strong on his jaw, and I did this number with it. I made that weird shape. See, and the thing is that most people don't realize is all lighting is dramatic lighting. It's just the opacity dropped. If you really want to think about it that way, that like, if I wanted this to be less dramatic and more realistic, it's at what 42? It's still it's no longer as intense. And like the lighting effect is still there. It's just now it's a normal sunny day. Well, and then I'd shut that off because I put a glow layer in so that it would signify glow on that side of the thing. And that's also the thing. That's another thing of why you could, if you wanted to, you can do dramatic lighting on its own. Hold on its own layer, and you could just turn the opacity down. Ta-da! It's a normal day now. But the dramatic lighting makes it fancy. Because I'm going to show you two tricks in how you can do dramatic light. You can do lighting, and then you just mess with it with the opacity. Firstly, did I do that? No. Firstly, we're at 45. This is a gradient layer. That fancy ass dramatic lighting is a gradient layer. I literally just erased the lighting out of it. And I marked where the lighting was coming from. That's what I did with the violin picture too. This is that lighting. It's a gradient layer. And then I put it on multiply, I knocked the opacity down, and I erased the lighting out of it. Yeah. See, here, hold on. Boop. Boop. You can do it, you can even do it with multiple gradients. Fancy, gorgeous, beautiful. We love this picture. It's the love of my life. It's my profile picture everywhere. Everybody loves this picture. It's my fucking baby. The lighting is fucking gradients. I'm at, hold on. Let's write down what gradients I had at the opacities so I don't fuck it up. Because I'm about to show you what they actually are. Because this is toned twice. Yeah. The lighting of this is actually that's the lighting. That is what's actually on top of that picture. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. I'm slightly lying. That is what's actually on top of that picture. I went to glow. I went 48. And then this one, that's what's underneath the orange. And that one, I went multiply. And then I went 39% opacity. Bam. And then I went, that looks too green. I don't like that. It doesn't look lively enough. He needs to be brighter and warmer. I want this one to be warm. So I went orange gradient for the orange man. And then I went down, went to linear burn, 42% opacity, bam. And when you do things like that, did you see what happened to all the glow on his face? It gains this little, like, right there. This pixel glowy warmness. Oh no, it's gone. Where did it go? Linear burn. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, the glow is put over his skin and not part of his skin. It's a completely separate layer above his skin. Where's your skin layer, buddy? That's your hair. I have too many layers in this fucking thing. That's your horns. That's your face. This 28, is actually that. That's all that fancy glow on his face. That's what it actually looks like. It's all it is where's your pro? Is this color, this really, really pale color, put on his skin and blurred out. See here, I'll watch, I'll show it to you. Literally, if like I wanted to put it in on the other side, because you're saying why doesn't the other side catch light too? It's this. And then I go in, and I take my little smudgy tool, and I smudge it out. And then this layer, I put it on glow. See how bright it got? But that's way too bright, so we knock it down to 28 opacity. See? Now it's this. That's what it's become. And I still think that looks weird, so I'm gonna get my blur tool, and I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna blur it out, and then I'm gonna smudge it some more until I like it, and it's picking up a more red color because there's an orange gradient over it. And the gradient isn't erased out. Because if I wanted to get it to look more like this, then I can come in and I can use my eraser and I can erase it out, and it changes its color. The other thing too is that when I do stuff like this and I'm erasing out of a gradient, is I have two erasers. I have a hard eraser and I have a soft eraser. Right now, all the highlighting that's in his hair, I didn't erase the gradient. The gradient is over those highlights. So that's why they're bright, but they're not bright. But if I wanted them to be like way brighter, and I wanted them to be like true brightness, is when I'd come in and I use my hard eraser, and now they're bright. And normally when I'm doing gradients, then I'll blur the gradient out. Because I don't like hard lines erased out of gradients. I just don't like how it looks. It's a personal preference. Or, the other thing that I normally do is I can use my soft eraser, and I'll streak it over the gradient really softly, so it'll give it more of a soft look, and it'll, instead of erasing like everything all at once, it'll give it a soft look, and it'll only erase a little bit. And see, I can change how much I'm erasing down here, and I always have my soft eraser down really low, because then I can give it much more of a feathery look if I want. Whereas my hard eraser, even if I have it all, if I take it down, it's still going to erase with hard lines around it. I like the feathery look, so I use my feather one. Because this is what it does if I erase with it erasing 100%. That's a hard eraser at 100%. That's a soft eraser at 100%. Yes, you can use gradients and just erase the lighting out of them. I do it all the time. That's almost my favorite trick. My god, I should almost tell you. Do you want to know how I did the one color the one color pictures while I'm at it? Because, like, they're almost legitimately one color. I think I've maybe used, like, one or two. Let's do Tulta. I know I used more than one color on Tulta. Yeah, this is... Oh, yeah. Also, thanks for popping in. Bestie asks questions constantly, and I love teaching. So if you guys have questions, just ask. why do I always lose words? My brain just likes to shut down. For context, I work in Autodesk Sketchbook. I don't know what programs everybody works in, so I can't promise you that my program will do the things your program will do. I do know that my program has a layer blending mode called Glow, and I have not found it in any other program. Yeah, my brain does that all the time, that like I'll be in the middle of a sentence and then I just kind of go, words? No. Oh no, I'll use Tulcha as an example, but I'll also use Loki. I'll also use Yoki when I'm in a minute, because see, like, this layer's on multiply, this layer's on hard light, this, and then all of this is on glow. The trick is almost all of this, like, heavy lifting is being done by the background of the gradient, because almost all of this is done in one layer. It's literally one layer. That's why I keep calling these sketches, because I'm just like, bam, one layer. But then I decided that things weren't dark enough, so I put in a second one. But it's all just at a certain level of opacity. But most of this is, once again, oh my god, there's lighting still here. I told you, erase out of a gradient. There's two gradients here right now. And to get the lighting effect from the white of the gradient, I just erased out of it. There's two gradients layered on top of each other. And they're at the same gradient at differing opacities. I just erased out of the gradient. And that's why I said I was also going to use Yoki as an example, because Yoki, I had to be a little more tricksy. See, and Procreate's like the one program I have no access to, because it's an Apple program, and I don't have access to it. There's Yoki. Yoki I had to be a little trickier, because I still had to do lighting, but I couldn't, I have still, Yoki has very dark skin, so I had to make sure that he stayed having dark skin. So, with the other ones, I'll erase out of the gradient twice for skin tone, because I have lots of pale characters, especially like Ku and, Tulcha's not really that pale. But like Symphonia or Ku are like pale. Symphonia's more fair-skinned. I think I did it really hard for Octop though, because he's pale as fuck. So with Yoki, instead of erasing out of both gradients to get the skin tone, I only erased out of one. So the background, see, that's how much heavy lifting that gradient and the back gradient is doing. There's a back gradient and there's a forward gradient. But I also had to show differentiation between the back gradient. And yeah, I know, isn't it bad? I had to show differentiation of the back gradient in his hair, so I had to actually color his hair in. But it's one layer. That's all it is. It's one layer. It's one layer and some color modes. And it's all just different color modes at different opacities. It's one color. Even the white isn't there. That's the gradient talking. Yeah, because the screen is still the same dark color. It's just that to get his scarring pale, I used screen, because screen will make your things lighter. Screen is how I do glasses. Anytime I do glass and glasses, it's actually light blue put on screen. Where's Palace Boy? Here's Pals Boy. Where's your glasses, sir? Oh, I was on them. That's what his glasses actually look like. That's the truth of them. But if the thing is with screen... Oh, thank you, I will. I promise. The thing is with screen, the darker color you use, the closer to clear you're going to get. So that's why I'll use like a really, really light blue, and then I'll start streaking through it with dark blues, and then I smudge it out, and now he has a light reflecting off his glasses. I don't know how this turned into education hour, but I don't mind it. If you have any other questions, please just ask. There they are. We still got work done on the boys. I just started trying to explain to you how light works. I mean, I don't think I'm that cool, but I'm glad you think so, bestie. I'm not gonna lie, for a minute here, I was just like, why do I have so many layers shut off on Symphonia? That's right, because I just redid his hair like 4 times and moved his horns around because I thought they looked stupid. Because his horns used to be here, and I didn't like the placement, so, I changed it. Because I was staring at the picture I posted on Blue Sky, and it just didn't look right. Dude, Yoki can't be pale. It's not okay. You actually, you know what would be really scary? Pale Vario. Because I'm pretty sure Vario's, darker than Yoki is. Actually, hold on. Where are the boys? I'm quite positive that... Oh, he's never gonna be pale. I'm just pretty sure Vario is darker than Yoki. There's Yoki. I appreciate that, Alex. Yeah, that's there's Yoki. Where is Vario? Oh, wait. I forgot I had a, There's Vario. I forgot I had a bust of them both. Yes! Yeah, Vario's dark as shit, and I did that on purpose. Yeah, Vario definitely cannot be pale. So whenever I do finally do Vario in a one color, he also has to be dark. I use a cheap-ass tablet that I, bought a long time ago. Hold on, let me flip it over. It's, Vinsa. Vinsa. It's a very cheap one that I bought a long time ago, but it does the job, and I like it very much. It is screenless, but it has, buttons on it that will let me control my music that I hit accidentally sometimes. And my only thing I hate about it is when it is on... You pick the asshole. The only thing I hate about my tablet is when it is plugged in and it is on, it lights up with a little blue light that flashes a lot, and I hate the flashing because I can see it out of the corner of my eye. So I took a piece of packing tape and I, taped white paper over it so I can't see the flashing anymore. I'll gladly tell you about Likey, but he's a piece of shit. He's not a good person. Are you Likey's #1 hater? I'm pretty sure that's Symphonia. I'm pretty sure that's Symphonia. Actually, hold on. I haven't actually really done the deep dive lore of that picture. I've posted it on Blue Sky a few times, but I've never actually told anybody what the, file name of it is, except for, you know, Bestie. I know you really. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Can you take that title from Silu? Because Silu fucking hates him. Um, my hobbies include hating Likey, Suzu, and Sumu. Well, they're all Mysterican pieces of garbage. Um, well, he's middle aged. Mystericans can live to be 150, so he's only a third way up through his life. Um, hold on, where is that picture? It's gonna explain Likey real fucking fast. Um, I guess we're doing lore today. And that's fine. Okay, so these are the things you need to know about Likey. Um, this trio. Um, yeah, you need this trio to understand Likey as a person. Oh, actually, hold on. No. You also need. It is an education stream now, after all. Exactly. Yeah, and you haven't been in here to listen to me ramble about fucking lore. There's a lot. Actually, where is that picture? Hold on. Where are the flares? Um, you need to see all of the flares because that is part of this. Um, um, there's flares. Um, okay, so this group. Actually, I should bring up the stars while I'm at it. We're just gonna talk about lore right now. There's stars. Okay. These two groups are affectionately referred to as, um, he is on your screen. Um, are affectionately referred to as the stars and the flares. Um, this, they're the stars, they're the flares. They're affectionately referred to by those names because their, their little prince, Pilvi, is considered the moon prince, and he is moon aligned, so they are his stars. And Uzva, their prince, is called the Flare Prince, and so they are, and he is sun aligned, so they are his flares. Um, this group, the the red is Uzva, that's the prince. White is Pilvi, that's the prince. Uh, these these six are all soulbound to this prince. It means they all made life oaths to um serve this prince until the day that they die. And five of them are his teachers, and then Sephirin is his bodyguard. She was the first one to bind to him, so she is known as his prime bind. AKA, she's the leader and in charge. Um, these are also Pilvi's soulbinds. These six are his teachers, and then Revan is his prime bind, his bodyguard. This is little brother, this is big brother. The other thing you need to understand is god damn it, I gotta talk about Orinko too. Um we gotta talk about Orinko. Yeah, you're right, I'm definitely gonna have to get out Leopard. But we gotta get out Orinko first. This is the other problem we have going on here. This is Orinko. He is the king, and he is the ruler of the kingdom. So this is the prince's father. This is Lord Orinko. This is also Symphonia's big brother. So Symphonia is their uncle. And a royal soul binding to another royal by direct blood is illegal. You're not supposed to do that. And the thing is that even though we say Orinko and Symphonia are brothers, it's because they were raised side by side, but they're actually cousins. But don't tell them they're cousins. Symphonia will cry and Orinko will kick you. They're brothers. They're only 3 years apart and they were raised side by side. But, anyways, Suxu doesn't know that. That's here. Suxu doesn't know that they're not blood brothers. Suxu just knows they're brothers. And she sees as what Symphonia did by binding to Uzva as illegal. Symphonia is a musician, not a politician, and he was never raised to take the throne. So he sucks ass at politics. That's actually like his worst subject ever. And she decides she is going to use this to her advantage and blackmail the living fuck out of him. To get... I like him more for it. Yeah. Suxu decided that since she thinks what Symphonia did is illegal, she's going to blackmail the living shit out of him about it, and she's going to basically back him into a corner, both literally and figuratively. And she's basically going to threaten him that if you don't do everything I tell you to, the kingdom's going to find out that you broke the law and that your brother broke his oath to the kingdom by putting you first. And the royal family only holds power because the Mysterican public allows it. The Mysterican royal family has to dance a dance called Path of the King, in which they have to use that dance to pledge their oath to serve the Mysterican public, and if the Mysterican public, while watching that dance, decides they don't think it's legit, and they decide that they don't accept their oath, they can remove the family from power then and there. The Mysterican royal family is the bottom of the hierarchy. So, her coming to him and telling him... Yeah, because the Berserkin royal family bows to the public does not bow to them. Just because Orinko's king does not mean people bow to him. It's the opposite. So when she comes to Symphonia and says your family's gonna get thrown out on their asses if anyone finds out what you did, he freaks out. And she proceeds to blackmail the living fuck out of him, tells him that when all of Pilvi's binds start showing up, he has to keep them away from Uzva. She tells him to destroy the relationship between his nephews because Pilvi is legitimately the Holy Child and the child their entire religion prophesied the birth of, and is like literally the prophesied savior of their people. So she thinks since he is blessed by the Celestial Mother, he doesn't need help, and that he's a distraction and needs to stay away from the prince that she serves. So she tells Symphonia he needs to ruin the relationship of his nephews, and he can't be near Pilvi, and he cannot be friends, and he cannot go anywhere near Pilvi's binds, and he needs to basically be an outright asshole to all of them, and, like, be a terrible, horrible person. And if he doesn't do it, this is where Lykie comes in. Lykie is desperately in love with Suxu. Suxu is... I don't want to say she's in love with Symphonia. She would say she's in love with Symphonia, but she's not. She's just really possessive of him and has decided that he belongs to her. And she's decided that she owns him. And Lykie is desperately in love with Suxu and would do literally anything for her. I mean literally anything. And that's where this comes in. I also should, like, add in there, mist powers here, because, green is toxic. So like the whole they breathe out and a spell is cast as soon as they exhale their mist thing. Green kills. Um, that's why everyone wears face masks all the time. But like they literally could like breathe at him and kill him. Um, but so the other thing going on here is that whoever teaches medical as the soulbind of the teacher's soulbinds, whoever's the medical teacher, also takes over as the reigning doctor of that group. So like Paulo, the one with blonde hair, is the acting doctor to Pilvi and all of his soulbinds. So that means Likey is the acting doctor to Uzma and all of his soulbinds, aka also Symphonia. Um, also Symphonia. And that is bad because Symphonia's health is very fragile and very complicated. Symphonia has an arrhythmia that causes tachycardia. He has fainting episodes. His little ticker beats too fast. He has to have heart medication. He's bipolar. He has depression. He has anxiety. Yeah. He's got carpal tunnel in both his wrists. He's got tendonitis in one of his wrists. He's got migraines and chronic fatigue and chronic headaches, and like Symphonia's health is garbage. And he was doing okay for a while under his original doctor, which was Orinko's doctor. But then Likey showed up, so then his case got transferred. And Likey has decided to take that into his own hands and proceeds to purposely tank Symphony's health. And since Suxu is trying to control Symphonia, if he starts doing shit she doesn't like being friends with Pilvi's Binds, aka Silu, that's when he also comes in. Hold on, I gotta find the picture. And she's literally had he beat the shit out of him multiple fucking times. She's literally had he beat this man with inches of his life. And then she tells him that he did it to himself and he knows better. And then where's the other? This one. And then there's this one. This is the one I was talking about that I haven't told anybody but Bestie what the name of this piece is. Then there's this one because it's he's standing behind him. This one I call medical malpractice. Sky's Call is up on Blue Sky. If you trail the quotes back, you'll find the beginning. We're up to part 10. And that one, Symphonia gets really, really, really sick and almost dies. No, because Orinko would go on a fucking warpath, and Symphonia can't tell anyone because Suxu has threatened his family against him, that if he opens his mouth, he's gonna ruin his family's lives, and, she's threatened the safety of his family against him. So he's too scared to tell anyone. So Orinko has no idea. But don't worry. When he finds out, though, oh, buddy. Yeah, but with Sky's Call, before Silu and Symphonia are dating, they're still really good friends, and they both teach music. So when Symphonia gets sick, he generally has Uzma go to Silu to still teach his hour for him, because he trusts that Silu can keep up with the material. And, oh yeah, Sky's Call. I forgot I drew something for Sky's Call. This is a picture from Sky's Call. Symphonia gets really, really fucking sick. I should add here that Tulta, the purple-haired knight, is Kumiseta, or Godfather. Um, he's Symphonia's godfather. Symphonia's father, Shoki, is Tulta's best friend. Shoki died in the war, and when Symphonia was 3, so he basically took over raising his kid for him. Um, as per was Shoki's request if anything happened to him. Um, and Tulta is a combat medic, so this man knows his shit, and he knows how fragile his kid's health is. Um, basically, one day that Symphonia gets really fucking sick, and yeah, Tulta is Avon's boy. Um, we affectionately call him a grape dad or leopard dad. Um, we compare them to animals a lot. And one day when Uzvo comes to Silu to tell him he's not here again, Symphonia's not there. Like, he should have been there to teach for the hour, and he's not. So Silu goes checking, and he finds Symphonia, like, barely fucking alive on his bathroom floor. So he rushes him to, Lamidas, which is Orinko's doctor. His original Symphonia's original doctor. Because Silu's not taking him to Leiki. He fucking hates Leiki. Then he takes him to Lamidas. Lamidas tells Silu that he needs to go run the coldest ice bath he can fucking manage, and he needs to get Tulta. And Tulta takes off fucking running, and it turns into a giant mess to try to stop Symphonia from dying. And that's another Mysterican thing, is you can see his fingers fading out at the bottom of that picture, because right before a Mysterican fades out and they die, their fingers will start to fade out first, and then their hand will fade out, and then literally their, like, DNA breaks and their body disperses. They get reduced to mist, and there's no corpse. They're just gone. They just fade out. So, like, Symphonia was fucking close. And basically, Sky's Call is turned into a giant mess of trying to get Symphonia not to die, and in the midst of trying to get him to not die, Tulta ends up getting him to, they call it releasing their lungs or cycling their lungs, because their lungs are pressurized, that keeps all their mist in them. But that means as long as whatever's in their lungs is there, it still can affect the body, and, Symphonia, the mist that's been stored in Symphonia's lungs has turned green. Because somehow, gee, I wonder how, he had blue put into his already very yellow tinted bloodstream, because their mist is in their blood too. And Symphonia is a very yellow orange. So blue would turn, if blue mixed with his mist, it would turn green. And he has green mist in his lungs, killing him from the inside out. And Tulta gets him to release it and get it out. But Symphonia is very sick and running a very high fever, and he is very weak, and he almost faded the fuck out. And Tulta is scared and pissed. He almost just lost his kid. Tuli, Symphonia's mother, is having an absolute fucking breakdown because her baby just almost died, and she's already lost her husband. Vario is having a lot of flashbacks right now because he helped take care of Symphonia when he was a baby right after Shoki died, because Vario was also part of Shoki's squadron. And basically, like, all the men that used to serve under Shoki have turned around to help take care of his kid, because all the men that survived from Shoki's squadron was like 4 people. 3, 4, yeah. No. Yoki, Vario, and Tulta. Yeah, just 3 of them. They're the only ones who survived. Shoki's squadron got wiped out by an air raid. So, there's that. They took over trying to raise the kid. So, Yeah, everyone's having a fucking time right now. We hate Likey. Likey almost kills Symphonia multiple times. There was a time period in which he beat the shit out of him by Suxu's request that he threw him into a bookshelf and broke his ribs, and then he had to lie his ass off to Steelu about how that happened. Um, um, and Suxu is nasty to the point that she also, further down the line, once they're dating, tells Symphonia that he has to end it. Um, yeah, she tells Symphonia that he has to end it, or else. And when he tries to inquire what the or else is, she basically tells him that if he does not end his relationship with Silu, that she will turn Silu's life and his twin sister Sudan's life into a living hell. Hold on. Side note. On that note, hold on. The fuck? That picture's not that old. Where is it? Why don't I see it? Oh, there they are. This is Sudan. This is Silu's twin sister. She is older by 7 minutes, and she makes damn sure that he remembers it. He's the little brother. Meanwhile, I hear Silu screaming in my brain, "We're twins!" So, Suxu tells Symphonia, "You need to break up with him or their lives are going to become a living hell." And then he starts panicking because he has almost died multiple times at the hands of Likey, and she's allowed it. So he's like, "Oh shit, if she'll let him do that to me, if they'll almost kill me, what will he do to them?" And he gets really, really scared that she is going to potentially kill the love of his life. So he panics and he has a breakdown and they get in a really bad fight, and he says really, really shitty, uncalled for things because it's right before the ritual that Pilvi, the White Prince, would accept the sacred blade that's supposed to house the spirit of their goddess, and no one knows if this ritual is going to kill the kid or not. And he makes really shitty comments about how the potential of the kid dying is very high. And mind you, this ritual is maybe a few weeks out when he makes these comments, and Silu just fucking loses his mind. And they also have been fucking with Silu. Silu's antidepressants got fucked up to the wrong medication that it shouldn't have been. It makes him extra fucking aggressive. It makes him extra fucking paranoid. And he freaks the fuck out. Okay. Little Mysterican, culture here. We use the sentence as humans. We'll use the sentence that you're seeing red, and that you're that angry that you're so angry you're seeing red. They don't say that because to them red is the color of royalty. But the equivalent phrase in their culture to mean that is you're burning black. So that's how they would say it. He was so pissed he was burning black. Or he burned black. And so Silu hits a point of burning black, so that means he's also not consciously aware of anything he's doing. He just knows he's fucking furious. The chat is fantastic tonight. But yeah, Silu's not aware of anything that he's doing, and Symphonia is too scared and freaking out about what's happening that he says something really, really freaking terrible, implying that his nephew's about to die, and that the life oaths that Pilvi's soulbinds made mean fucking nothing. Basically, he literally parrots shit that Suxu has said to him. And Silu busts his fucking nose for that shit. And like I said, he's not even really aware of what he's doing. He just throws a fucking punch. And busts his nose for that. He's not even aware, really, of even who he hit. He just kind of, like, throws the punch. And he gives Symphonia a really bad concussion. The fight has to get broken up. He isn't really even consciously aware of what happens until much later, and then him having to realize what he did. Symphonia is, like, in bed for fucking months because he's got, like, a gapping memory of, like, missing a month, and he's got a really bad concussion, and he's just fucked up. And yeah, so they get broke up for, like, almost 2 years that they're not together because they're convinced. Silu's convinced that Symphonia hates him, and Symphonia's convinced that Silu hates him, but he's also, like, too scared to say anything because he's terrified to go near him, because if he goes near him, what's Susu gonna do? And he gets really scared that if he goes near him, she'll sick like he on Silu. And then after, like, almost 2 years pass, because please remember, they're musicians. Yeah, Silu got in Silu, in the 2 years, recklessly got in the worst relationship of his whole life with a really abusive woman that just, like, she won't kiss him, she won't hug him, she won't cuddle him, she leaves him in the middle of town when he has a panic attack. Like, she gives no fucks about him. She's literally just using him for his status and his money. And he thinks this is the best that he can do now because he ruined everything with Symphonia. Meanwhile, Symphonia is still desperately in love with this man because he knows all the shit that was actually going on, and he knows that, none of this was either one of their faults, and that all of this shit was a setup. So, like, 2-ish years go by, and, Symphonia's been coping by drinking too much, and he decides, fuck it, I need to at least let him know that I still love him, and he's blocked me on every goddamn social media account we have. He will not answer my phone calls. He does not answer my texts. I can't talk to him in person because if I do, I'm putting him in danger. And he proceeds to do the only thing that he knows will reach Silu and speak to him in the only way that they can speak to each other, and he writes him a goddamn album. He proceeds to write an entire album of love songs for Silu and signs a fucking radio deal so that no matter what, he'll hear it. Because, mind you, Symphonia is the most famous musician in the history of the kingdom. He only got forced into retirement because of an injury. And he also does this too because he tells his mother how depressed he is, who is also a famous musician, mind you. And Tuli's response is, no, you can't play your violin like you used to, but you can still sing, can't you? So he writes him an album of love songs. And we just started a thread that is Silu trying to avoid the album and failing miserably, and they gotta talk their shit out. They need to reconcile and talk about everything, and Symphonia is, like, at his wit's end with the lying. He wants to just tell him the truth. He wants to tell him about the blackmail. He wants to tell him about everything, and even though he doesn't have the guts to do it, it's gonna happen because the entire time that they've been broken up, even though they've been broke up, Suxu has been like really possessive of Symphonia, and she's been there actually is comfort. She's been really, really, really possessive of Symphonia, and she has got like extra he's mine about it, and like he hates every fucking minute of it. So since he's in love with it with Likey's in love with Suxu, and Suxu's in love with Symphonia, but he is Symphonia's doctor. That means he has been taking things into his own hands, and he has been, over the course of this 2 years, setting his medication up in a way that would counteract against all of his medical ailments and go off like a time bomb and kill him. He's been basically orchestrating a murder for 2 years. And right when this album drops is right when like he starts putting everything together to like finally make it go off and kill him. So that is gonna hit Silu in the face in a few posts. Real soon that's gonna hit Silu in the face of the love of his life almost dying in front of him while they're still in the middle of a would-be fight. So Silu's about to have to make some really hard decisions of like, I almost lost him again. And mind you, this is probably will be like the third or fourth time he's almost lost Symphonia because like he keeps fucking with his shit. Medical malpractice. And that's why Tulta comes in, because for years Tulta has been trying to tell people something's not right. His health keeps deteriorating. His health keeps being really bad. He keeps being mysteriously injured. Like, I know my own kid's health, and it ain't this. And that's it too. It's not even like a concerned parent doing the like, I know my kid's health and it ain't this. It's a concerned parent with a medical degree. Like, this is his job. He's a freaking combat medic. So like, he knows his shit. So yeah, that's happening. But don't worry, they get back together, and they have been together for like 20 years. And then Likey will get dealt with soon, and then Suxu will get eventually dealt with, because that means with his brother almost dying again, the king is about to find out about some shit. So yeah, Silu is about to. I will drink something, I promise. Yeah, Silu's about to blow up, and like I said, I compare them. We compare them to animals a lot. It's also because of the sounds and stuff they make. Silu we compare to a shark a lot, and he is about to embody that. Symphonia we compare to a cat a lot, and Silu is very, very easily summed up with, that's my fucking cat. Yes, we also compare Silu to an otter, but he is a shark, and he is about to be a shark. Because that's his fucking cat. And when it's Silu also having to look in the face that he just thought, all these years, because mind you, at this point, he's known Symphonia for like almost a whole decade. And yeah, it's been like, no, it has been 10 years at this point. And so he's known this man for 10 years, and he dated him for most of them. And now he has to look the past in the face and realize that Symphonia's like terrible fucking health wasn't just because of all the medical stuff he has going on. It's because someone was purposely trying to kill him, and that person was his doctor. and yeah, uh, Suxu is possessive. Silu is protective. Um, he is extremely protective. Um, so yeah, he's about to wreck some people's fucking lives. Don't worry, they get back together. And then they have some happy years together, and then Symphonia gets really blushy and shy, and he asks Silu to marry him, and of course Silu says yes, and they, and then they get engaged, and then 2 days later the planet gets destroyed. You know, just the apocalypse, and then they get thrown into basically another dimension world that's created out of the fragments of destroyed worlds called Wonderland, and they've been stuck there for 20 years. And that's why they're not married yet. Because they've survived the apocalypse, and they've been in a world that is built to kill them and trying to kill them for 20 years. And Symphonia almost dies. Almost dies 5 years in because he attempts to sacrifice his life to save Silu and Sudan. And he prepares himself to die to save them, and they think he died, but he didn't because he got saved in the nick of time after he got them to run, because they're getting attacked by a monster, and then Symphonia gets stuck in Wonderland alone by himself for 12 years, and since Mysterican names are sacred, he doesn't want to give his up when he becomes a bounty hunter to get money to survive, and everybody starts talking about a bounty hunter that can steal people's screams away because Symphonia's Mist can cast a silence spell, so they start calling this bounty hunter the Silencer, and he kind of just rolls with it, so he doesn't have to give people his name. So that's when I refer to people. That's why when I keep referring to Silencer, I'm talking about Symphonia in Wonderland. He becomes the Silencer. The symphony becomes the silence. And also in that meantime, you can thank Bestie for that one. That one was Bestie's. When we were like, what's his name gonna be? That was Bestie's brainstorming there. And then on Silu's end, he is then stuck in Wonderland with just his twin sister who gets sick and dies, and then he's alone, and he gets captured by a very evil woman who keeps him like a pet and tortures him for 9 years. So now he is fucked up, malnourished, and he is meek, depressed, and all around fucked up. They just found each other after being away from each other for 12 years. They both thought each other died. Everything is starting to chill, but it's never gonna chill because Voltaire exists. Oh, I should talk about Voltaire. That's Voltaire will make everything. Voltaire will make everything like 16 million times fucking worse. So this is Voltaire. He lives in Wonderland. He is, yeah, things are never gonna chill because Symphonia's Mist defied cosmic law. You're correct. Yeah, Voltaire is a being called Hydraulis. That's his species name. I promise there is. We have really cute threads. And the Hydraulis are a classification of people called Mist Eaters. So he thinks of Silu and Symphonia as food. And proceeds to hunt them through Wonderland for like 18 fucking years. He is also unaffected by their mist because he eats it. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. We fucking hate Voltaire. So there's no rest for them because they always have to be on their guard because there's a thing that fucking, eats them. And I mean, there is cute threads. I promise. I swear to God, there's cute. I think I think I should have to post it again because I didn't post it with alt text last time. Um, I mean, there's Too Dark to Fly. That's a really cute thread. Um, like, I promise there is cute. It's just there's a lot of trauma inside it. And like, that's also the thing. I draw them happy so often because I'm making it up to them for their lives that they have because their lives are fucking shitty. And like, purr time is a thing. They legitimately purr like cats, and they curl up and take a nap and purr on each other. It's called purr time. It's cute. Um, that's what I made my offline screen. If you go check on my stream when I'm not streaming, there's a picture of Silu laying on top of Symphonia, and they're sleeping and they're purring. For purr time. Purr time. No, there's cute, I promise. I draw cute all the fucking time. But like, I do it because their lives are really, really, really shitty. They have, yeah, there we go. Purr time! Silu has a thing about just picking up his husband, and, has a thing about just picking up his husband and running away, and whisking him away to the nest, which is what they call their beds. It's a nest. So, like, I mean, I haven't even, like, explained the whole reincarnation thing. It gets worse. It gets a little more tragic, actually. Hold on. Where's the whole gang? Yeah, rip. Where the fuck are the oranges? I need the whole set. Why don't I see you, oranges? Oh, okay, there's the oranges. Now where are the blues? Blues. Okay. This is how everything goes. Okay, hold on. I can do this. There we go. Okay, so all the way back when the universe started, it started with a spark. And the spark split in two, and it created two gods. It created the god of destruction and the god of creation. So, destruction, creation. They're the twin gods that were created from the spark that started the world. Bahamut is the god of soil and life and death and the spiral. And then Tiamat is the goddess of creation and mist and the heavens and the sky. Tiamat created the celestials, so the beings of mist-based souls. Bahamut created the infernals, the beings of soil-based souls. Mystericans are pure-blooded celestials. They are the children of Lady Tiamat. They call her the Celestial Mother. Tiamat has 7 children. I only have 2 of them drawn. 7 children, and they are what they refer to as the lower mist dragons. Their actual forms are like long, thin dragons, but they can take humanoid forms. These are the twin gods, Haya. Of course! You know what? He deserves that. Haya and Haja are the twin gods of music and dance. Cool. So, all the way, and they contain part of the spark that started the universe. That's important. So all the way back at the beginning of the start of the universe, Tiamat created her 7 children, and there is Haya. this guy. This clown of a god. He he decided that he was bored after he gave all of the beings below music, and he wanted a friend. He also bet Haya that he also bet Haja that he could do it, and she was like, "No, Mother's the one who creates life," and he was like, "No, I'm gonna do it too." So using his mist, a bit of the spark of his life, a little bit of the spark of his life, and the notes of his own music, he created a life. He created a life, and he took that life to the village below and asked them to raise this child, and then conveniently forgot how time works because he's a fucking god and didn't come back until, like, this kid was, like, 16. Which is this one. This is Sulim. He has, it's very important that I point out the curls in his hair. Haya decided he had to give him 2 swoops, because he could. This is Sulim. And Sulim means awesome radiance. Because Haya is a child, and, he is so great at naming, as he has to make sure his twin knows. This is Sulim. Sulim is he adores Haya. But he's very formal about it. He's always very Lord Haya, and he's like, you can just call me Haya. And he was like, of course, Lord Haya, and it's like never gonna change. And Bahamut had 6 children. And we just refer to the god's children as the 6 and the 7. There's also a third god that is called, which is another pillar that holds up the frickin' universe, and that is evolution. Evolution gets corrupted because it feeds on the negativity of the beings within the world. And when evolution gets corrupted, it basically starts war on Tiamat and Bahamut, and it tells them, you will know me as Chaos. Well, Chaos ends up possessing and corrupting the 6, Bahamut's children. And with the 6 corrupted, they go after the 7. They go after Tiamat's children. And with this going on, one of them goes to kill Haya. And Sulim takes the hit. Like, without hesitation, doesn't even think. Just shoves him out of the way and takes the hit. And it's a sword slash through his back, from shoulder to waist. And when Sulim is dying, he promises Haya he'll find him again, and not to cry, not to worry, he'll find him again. But Mist is not supposed to reincarnate. It functions on the linear path, on a straight line, and then when Mist souls die, they return to the heavens and expand the universe. That's just how it works. But Sulim made a promise. He's not going to lie to Haya and tell him that he can't find him again, even though he's not supposed to reincarnate. So this is where we say that Symphonia told the universe to get bent. So when Sulim died, instead of his mist expanding the universe as it should, he basically defies all of cosmic law, tells the cosmos that it can get fucked, and proceeds to reincarnate anyways. But he does so by burning some of that spark of life that he was given by Haya. And you can see in these ones, because his eyes are blue like Haya's, with every life, the blue starts to fade out of his eyes, because it's him burning away the spark. And with the spark going with him burning the spark, he also is burning his memories of Haya. So he reincarnates and becomes Sara, which also means radiance. And then Sara doesn't find him again and gets tricked and poisoned. Then he reincarnates again. This is Shvitemas, which also means radiance. And he is a traitor that gets in the middle of a confrontation and tries to stop it and gets shot in the chest. He also does not find Haya. And that death is also what starts the war between Windaria and Mysterica. Then he reincarnates again. And this is Ishulta. And Ishulta finds Haya's next vessel, Misuki. And Ishulta also means radiance. They become best buddies. Ishulta falls in love with the fish. Musiki is a siren shark. Ishulta falls in love with the fish. He's lovingly known as Nerd Boy. He gets lured out into the waters by the other sirens, and they drown him. Because they're mad. And then Misuki gets really furious and picks fights with the other sirens, and inevitably gets killed. And then he reincarnates again and becomes this is Strongglass, which also means radiance. He is an archaeologist. He digs in ruins and plays with rocks. And he meets Octav, who is a crystal draken, and he's very puppy, and he lives in a cave by himself because the village won't be friends with him, but they also don't like Strongglass, so they kick him out too. And then that means Octav also somehow manages with a shiny coin to gain himself a grumpy ass cat. And eventually the village gets involved. They try to convince Strongglass that he's fallen in love with a monster, and that boy is manipulating him, and it's not good, and he's gonna die. And they're trying to tell him everything, and they try to tell him that he's insane, and they try to even separate the two because they're trying to save his life, as they think, and he's like, I swear to fucking God, just let me go home. I know what I'm doing. And eventually, when they get back to each other, because Octav has to come find his cat, and when they finally get back to each other, the villagers cause a cave-in, and it kills them both. And then he reincarnates again. Mind you, we're on life 6. Remember, those eyes used to be bright ass fucking blue. And then this is a Resetime, which also means surprise, radiance. He is a bandit with a weakness for kids and ends up getting killed. He does not find his blue. Then he reincarnates again. We're on life 7. And this is Stralucide, which, surprise, means radiance. And he really needed to come in. Meets Contact. And they have a life together. Stralucide ends up getting attacked by remnants of the Six, still coming after these lives. And he ends up fleeing the village with his cat, Fortuna. And ends up getting saved by Contact, and they live together. Until Stralucide's heart gives out. And he dies. He dies from heart failure. His health is also garbage, because that's also the thing. Symphonia's health is so garbage because every life after gains a health problem from how the previous one died. Um, so Stratochide dies. He ends up dying of heartache. And then he reincarnates again to a Mysterious soldier. This is Sotelua, and surprise, also meets Radiance. And then he meets Tati. He meets Tati because Tati is his fucking commanding officer. No one wants Sotelua. They say he's a loose cannon. They call him a forest fire. They say he's too aggressive. He's too hard to handle, and he's just a wildfire. Nobody wants him, and he keeps getting passed around. And eventually, Tati's like, "Nah, I got this," and they desperately fall in love. Tati is a fucking goober. But since this is while Mysterika and Windaria are at war, Tati gets really hurt on the battlefield. Sotelua gets distracted, runs to get to Tati, and before he can run to get to Tati, he gets shot in the chest. And due to the pressurized state of Mysterican lungs, a blow to the chest is instant death. So basically Tati's stuck on the battlefield, fucking wounded, looks up to see his love run to him and get shot in the chest and die. Fade out right in front of him. And later that night, Tati succumbs to his injuries. And then he reincarnates again, and now we have finally gotten to Symphonia, which means symphony. But his eyes are now pure orange, and he has no memories of Haya at all. He has no memories of Haya. All he knows is, yes, and then we got to hear. And Symphonia just knows that Haya is a god that his people worship. That's all he's got. He doesn't have any memory of it at all. And he also has no spark left. He has burned all of it. This is the last life. If Symphonia dies, there's no reincarnating. And that's also why Symphonia's health is so garbage, because his mist has gone through 9 lives, and it wasn't supposed to go through any of them. It was supposed to just expand the universe and carry on. So it's taken all the damage of all the 9 lives. And then have a good night. I appreciate you stopping in. I always stream on Monday and Tuesday. But the VODs will also be on YouTube. But yeah, Symphonia has no memories of Haya. Silu has Haya as an unwilling roommate. And I mean Silu is the unwilling one. Where's Divine Intervention? I mean this. Like, Silu has the spirit of Haya just, like, fucking chilling. Fucking chilling. He woke up and was like, hey, see that orange thing? You like him. Because Symphonia was being a jerk thanks to Suxu. And, he decided he didn't like him. And Haya saw him and was like, my orange thing! And got really excited. But there's also, like, the meaning behind their names. That, like, Sulim started as the Radiance, and the Radiance died and died and died and died and died and died and died until there was nothing left of it. And all that was left are the notes of Haya, the god of music's music. And the final life is named the Symphony. And then all of... Hold on. Musuki means music. Octave is octave. Contact is song. Tati is star. Silu means soul. And that his Haya's final vessel, his name is Soul. The soul of the music. Who falls in love with the symphony. You're welcome. You're welcome. Their names aren't just names. Their names have lore. It's very gay. It is very gay. But Symphonia is extremely gay and very proud of it. Standing there in the morning, tired in his kitty slippers, holding a rainbow themed mug that says "Sounds gay, I'm in." And see Lucy said mug and goes, "Wait, for real? Are you? I have a chance?" And then he decides that it is time for him to court that orange. If you need anything to at least laugh at, like, they don't refer to it so much as dating as they do courting, and when they finally do start dating, it's literally because Silu tells him, "Get courted, idiot," and Symphonia just starts blushing like crazy. That's literally not a "will you go out with me?" No, it was "get courted, idiot." And he just, like, best day of Symphonia's life. Get courted, idiot. Symphonia, just best day of his life. Yeah, no, they're really cute and adorable, and I have cute threads of them. I mean, we could give them Too Dark to Fly. That's cute. I'm trying to think what other threads we've written that are actually cute. Oh, Revon. Sparkle Dad. Sparkle Dad. We love Revon in this house. He is one of the weird Mystericans that we refer to by first name. Firstly, his name means Northern Lights in full. Like, his full name means Northern Lights. He is the embodiment of the Aurora Borealis. He's really self-deprecating. He's got a lot of bad things thinking about himself because his mist is toxic, but he's not toxic. Just because his mist can kill doesn't mean he will. He's a trained soldier, like, don't get me wrong, he knows how to kill, but he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He lost his whole family in the war. All his brothers, his grandfather, his father. He lost all his family in the war. His whole family is green, and he thought the only place there was for him was to be in the military, and that he would too die in the war. But Aurinko strikes a ceasefire right before he would have gone to war. So effectively pausing the war. And then probably somewhere, he is prime bind to Pilvi, the white knight, the white prince. Sparkle Dad, he soulbound to him when Pilvi was an infant. That's also supposed to be considered impossible, but Pilvi is also the holy child, so he does what he wants. And there we go. He Sparkle Dad, like, he that is his kid. He got handed this infant and got told, "You're his bodyguard, you're his caretaker, you're his prime. You have to help raise him." And he went, "You keep letting me keep this? This is mine? I get to keep this? Are you serious?" And, like, that's his kid. They're, like, when he lost his whole family and thought he'd never have anyone ever again, he got Pilvi. And then he treats all his he treats all of his Kobines like their family. Is it not? Oh, it's the Tiff. We effectively refer to them as a Sparkle Mellow. because Toby is a marshmallow. Um, so that's his kid. And he loves that child to death. He refers to Silu and Sedan as his kids too. And he calls them his Sparkle kids. And yeah, he's very honor bound. He's very knightly. He's the only one of Plovi's binds that only calls that kid by title. Like, he's more than welcome to use the name, but he's still like my liege, and he still is very my liege, highness, my highness. He will only call him by name if they're alone. But like, he's been carrying that kid around since he was an infant. He's with him 24/7. He's his bodyguard. It's very rare that they're not together. He's tall as fuck. He's a giant tree. We love Sparkle Dad in this house. He's Sparkle Dad, my beloved. Yeah, Sparkle Dad, my beloved. He loves his kids. He squares off with Arinko a lot because the king doesn't exactly do a lot of great stuff for his kids, but he's also being manipulated by the church. It broke. But yeah, Revan's a great guy. We love him. We love him in this house. He's a fucking badass. He can control wind magic. But we love him in this house. He's not. You didn't pick the asshole. You picked the good guy this time. He's green and he can cause like massive damage, but he wouldn't. He doesn't want to. It's not on his priority list. It's definitely a I am dangerous but don't want to be dangerous situation. Oh my god, it's almost midnight. Well, actually, god, I didn't realize it was almost midnight. Will, we kind of got stuff done. We had more of an education day today, but that's fine. I don't mind the education days. Please continue to ask questions if you have them. I'm happy to explain things about either lore or, art. Yeah, we had a PowerPoint night, and that's fine. PowerPoint nights are fine. Yeah. And yeah, Alex, please feel free to throw things on the Discord. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I didn't realize it was almost midnight, so please sleep well when you sleep if it's time for you to do that. Otherwise, have a great day, and I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I will stream again Monday at there's a lot to it. We'll talk. There's a lot for that. Maybe Wonderland. You can yak about that us on the Discord. But yeah, I will stream again tomorrow, Monday at 7 p.m. I do not know what I will be streaming. I talk about that on Blue Sky. It depends on if we're ready for KH3 or not. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Have a good night. Sleep well, guys.